Hello. Hi, Stevie. Stevie, question for you. Hi, Caroline. Stevie, question for you. Were your ankles sore at all after Thursday? We did a lot of balance on Thursday's class, a lot of single leg balance, and we did some of the more challenging postures. We held for a long time, and there was other aspects of that class as well because we did some foot placement. My ankles felt that. And so I was wondering if you felt that. And then I just thought how great that is to have that happen. So let me know if your ankles were sore, if it's something you notice. Hello, Marianne. Good morning. Nice to see you. All right. Anything going on in particular? Yeah. Okay, good. So Stevie, that makes me think then, really, we did half moon balance, dancer balance, um, tree. We held them all for a pretty decent amount of time, so longer than 30 seconds. Tree was a minute. We also did all the other stuff. And when we were doing the kneeling position, bringing our foot forward, and especially if you challenge yourself. So that's really great. When you have ankles sore like that, that means that you were weight bearing on them and challenging them. So great for fracture prevention, fall prevention, strong ankles. Really important to have strong ankles. So definitely effective because I felt that. So great. Thanks for letting me know. Anything anyone is experiencing today that you'd like to focus on? I wanted to, yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that definitely there was a lot to that practice. Today, I would like to focus on, well, we'll see what else transpires, but I know that there's one thing that I want to hone in on, and that's bridge posture and back bending, because a lot of the conversations that I have with people that I work with, that seems to be a question that comes up often. And because the spine, the DEXA scan looks at the spine, and that's a reading people get, it is an area of awareness that maybe the spine is not as dense as the rest, or well, we only test a few areas, right? But that seems to be something that comes up often. So I really would like to explore that in our bodies today. And really what's important is the body awareness that comes with the practice of yoga and understanding back bending and what it means to press into the back of your spine. Let me show you. So my little spine here. So this would be the front of the spine, and this would be the back of the spine. So when we do a back bend, so this is the front of the spine, and this is the back of the spine. When we do a back bend, we're pressing the back of the bones into themselves. This thing doesn't bend a lot, but if it did, it would be like this. You're pressing the back of the bones into itself. So when we're doing the postures today, the bridge and doing back bending, you want to think about pressing these together. And the other thing to think of is opening and stretching the front. So stretching the front of the spine and then pressing the back into itself. Okay, I don't have my glasses on today, so yeah, so glaucoma counterindicated typically is whenever there's downward pressure. So that's interesting. So the bridge posture is this. The thing is, Marianne, that's great. Thanks for bringing that question up. So a bridge posture should actually have a flat neck. Your neck should be long and your head should be in a neutral position. So the weight of the bridge comes to the upper body here, and it's a bending of the spine that gets that. So it's not a downward slope. It's not that from your knees to your nose is a flat board, but rather that you bend your spine so you put the body weight into the upper spine when you're doing the back bend. So with glaucoma, counterindicated glaucoma is a supported bridge pose when you're doing an inversion and you're elevating your spine on a block or bolster. So typically though, inversions, whenever there's extra pressure coming towards the head, that's something you need to avoid or be careful of. And let me see if I could find that out here, because that's an interesting question. Is it counterindicated? Let me see. I don't know if I'll be able to find that here, is bridge pose counter indicated for glaucoma. I just had my glaucoma test yesterday. Gosh, I do not like when they dilate your pupils. And for me too, it's like the time that I can't live my life, like 4 hours. And I was out driving. Let me see. There's foods to heal glaucoma, I see here. And lowering your eye pressure. Let me see. Is bridge pose. You know what? It doesn't actually say, okay, how to adapt your yoga practice. And I think what's really good about this, Marianne, even if this is not for, this brings up a really great point about how the bridge posture should do, and the fact that pressure does come into your head and you have to limit that, because this is more about the spine. Let me see what it says about that. And I don't know if it'll come up. Okay, it says to avoid full inversions like headstand, handstand, shoulder stand, and forearm stand. So that would be a complete vertical inversion with your legs up on the air. So that is something. So headstand and all that is dangerous, puts too much pressure in the eye. Okay, postures, downward facing dogs, downward forward fold, which forward folding, I don't really teach that, legs up the wall. All right, it doesn't really say anything about those last ones. But when I read this, what I'm realizing, so if you think about pressure, we do inversions because we want to increase the volume of the blood to the aortic arch and to the neck. And that's really great for physiologically having an effect on blood pressure. So we don't want anything to come straight to the eyes, right? So if you're in a vertical inversion, you're doing straight to the eyes. With the bridge, if you can keep your head level and really bring the bend into your spine. So today when we do the bridge, we're going to use some props. So making sure you have a strap and a block will be important. And we're going to really work on getting this bend in the spine. So the awareness is going to be that, not how high up are you lifting. So great. That was a great question. Hi, Pat. I don't know when you came in on the conversation, but I was just explaining that today I'm going to do back bending. We're going to do the bridge. And the question was asked about glaucoma and back bending. And that's what I was looking at right now. So, all right, let's do this. Today I have my blanket, my rug that I got from, I need to turn off I have the heater on and it's on full blast. I'll need to turn that down. I know that might sound crazy because it is nice outside, but it really was chilly in here. And when I go down onto the ground for the first part of class, I get cold if I'm not warmed up. All right. Today's practice, you'll need a block, you'll need a strap and a blanket. Part of the practice today will involve back bending and exploring back bending in your body, because back bending, and especially the posture we're going to work with is bridge, I think it's one of the most valuable postures in yoga for healthy aging. It's definitely one of the poses that is taught often for bone health. It helps to strengthen the spine. And for many, that is an issue of concern or an area of concern. So we are going to explore that bridge posture today. You'll need a strap and a block for that, and your mat, of course. So when we get to that, there'll be more instruction on that. But what that brings me to is the value and the importance of body awareness. And the more body awareness you have, the safer you'll keep yourself in your practice, and the farther you'll be able to go in your practice, the more strength you'll be able to dedicate to your muscles, your bones, your joints, and all the things that are important for healthy aging and for healthy bones as we age. So the more awareness we can develop, then we can practice safely. So for the beginning of the practice, we come into that place. We bring our mind to this present moment. We bring ourselves into that place of awareness. And something I was watching this morning, I'd like to give you a little description. If you're on the ground in a plane and you look outside, you see the buildings, and the buildings are really big. They're right there with you. You're on the ground. And then you start to move up into the sky, and the perspective of what was below shifts. And now everything seems to be smaller and farther away. When we do this mind-body connection, when we practice yoga, when we bring ourselves inward, we actually start to shift our perspective from all of these things that are around us, all of the things that wreak havoc in our lives. Actually, a lot of stress comes from our lives and what we're dealing with and what's in front of us and what we're exposed to. So let's let today's practice be that this is your sacred space that you're going to be on, that we're going to shift, not really participate in what's around us. So almost like being elevated from where we are. And with that, being very, very connected into our mind and body, or even staying on the ground and going into a grounding place and coming inside to a place of feeling and noticing, because that's how you can take care of yourself and keep yourself healthy in the process and safe in the process, which to me is really one of the most critical parts of this, is being safe as you work on strengthening, lengthening, and creating a stronger body. So let's begin today with a support to the back bend. We want to start to stretch the muscles that are what will help the back bend. So back bend means the front body is open and we bend our spine. So let's take our blanket and roll the blanket up. Roll it up, take it long ways, and then roll the blanket up as tight as you can. The thicker the blanket, the bigger the opening. So do this according to what you need. If you know you have a lot of roundness in your spine, you may need an extra support for your head. So get that if that's something that you need. Have your blanket on the ground ready to go. And if you need something for your head, do that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to think about the spine. We're going to take the spine, we're going to start to open and stretch the muscles that are in the spine, the muscles that are around the spine. We're going to get a little stretch here as we lengthen our body in this shape. And then doing whatever is appropriate to you. So feeling what feels right for you. Bring yourself down onto the prop. Keep your tushy on the ground. And leave your eyes open at first so you can arrive and you can safely feel what's appropriate for you. Feel your head supported by your prop. Feel your spine supported. And then let your arms start to move out the side. Keep your eyes open at first as you start to move your arms. So keeping your senses not yet super deep in your body, yet starting to make that connection. You see your outside space and you're feeling things happening in your body. We're going to go more to that place of feeling and being more in the body, but beginning first with this outward aspect as well. Letting your arms move up. The farther away from your body the arms go, and the less bend you have in your elbows, the more weight and the more pressure will be on your shoulders and chest. So pay attention to what your needs are when it comes to this. Make the practice yours. So doing whatever range of motion is available for you. Then close your eyes. Keep moving your arms, feeling and noticing what you're noticing here. See if you could go a little wider with your arms, maybe.
And then see if you can bring yourself into a position where you're in a place of stretch. Pretty wide, so the farther away from your body you go, the more stretch there'll be. Let the backs of your hands be on the ground, palms are up towards the sky. And when you're here, notice, do you feel any stretch in the back of the neck? Back where the skull attaches to the muscles right by the top of the spine? And notice if it's on one side more than the other. And then push your head away from you, tuck your chin towards your chest. So you lengthen the back of your neck and notice where you experience that if you do. So trying to place yourself here in an anatomically aligned position and noticing where the tightness is or issues if they exist. And then bring your awareness to a side-to-side movement of your head, eyes are closed. What side feels the tightest? What side has the most range of motion? When your head moves to the right, does it go farther than it does when it goes to the left? And just noticing that in your body. Many of us have asymmetry, but just being aware of this. These muscles that are in the back of the body and on the top of the shoulders and clavicle bones, and then come up the side of the neck, the back of the neck, and the front of the neck. They're stabilizing and balancing the head on your body all day long, wherever your head goes. So moving side to side, and then see if you could feel this all the way down in your belly, because everything is attached. And then bring yourself back to center, bringing your awareness to your shoulders, to your armpits, to your chest. Can you reach your arms a little longer, a little farther away from you? Spread your fingers, let the fingernails touch the ground, and then press your hands into the ground a lot. See if you feel that even more intensely in the chest, in the shoulders. Do you feel it in the back of your body, the back of the neck, the back of the body? Do you feel it down to the low back? Noticing this about your body. What are your holding patterns? Where are your greatest issues? So this is a great posture assessment, a spinal alignment assessment, and muscular assessment of the upper back, head, and neck area on what's happening to you throughout the day. Where are you feeling this? Is it one side more than the other? Push your hands into the ground. Try to move your elbows towards the ground. Feel that intensity. Do you feel this underneath your armpits? And then bring yourself into a place of relaxation. Let everything go. The knees are bent, the feet are flat. And if you'd like to explore taking the knees into a straight position, unbending the legs, going into a wide position, see if that feels okay for your low back when you do this. Do you feel your stomach stretch or below the low ribs? Do you feel your low back pulling away from the prop? Push your heels or your feet into the floor, depending on whatever you have, straight legs or bent legs. And when you push and activate the back of your body, what do you notice? And then let your body be heavy. If you do have your legs straight, spread your legs so it's like you're like a 5-pointed star from each foot, each hand, and the crown of your head. And if your knees are bent, you have the crown of your head, your 2 arms, and then you have your knees pointing up towards the sky. And start to breathe as if you were drawing the breath in from these points, the feet or the knees, the hands, and the crown of the head. Mouth is closed, breathing in and out through your nose. And then take another breath, feeling your body as you breathe. And then wiggle your fingers and toes. Take your body into a fully stretched position if you can, or at least the arms towards overhead if your shoulders will let you. Paying attention to where your range of motion is, what's safe, what's appropriate. And then bend your knees. So we're going to do a back bend, and in order to do a back bend, we want to warm up our upper body. So rolling onto your side, keep the blanket rolled up behind your body here. Then take your hand, clasp your hands behind your head, elbows are together. Bring your knees so they come straight off your pelvis, and then your ankles are straight off your knees. Exhale. Inhale, reach your elbow up towards the sky, slide the shoulder blade back towards your spine, push your heart forward, and rotate your body to wherever it feels appropriate to go. And then exhale to come back. Inhale to open, reaching the elbow up, sliding the shoulder blade towards your spine and opening yourself. Keeping your knees where they are, don't let the top knee slide away from the other knee. So squeeze your knees together when you do this. Squeeze your knees, press your heart forward. Might not be a big range of motion here. You may experience this in the belly, the waist. If it is in the low back, push your low back as if you were pushing the top of your pelvis back to protect your spine. Keep moving with breath. Let it be the elbow that moves the most. One more, come open and stay open. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself back to center. Take that arm, bring the hand down. Exhale. As you inhale, flip your hand up, take it back, bring it up, and then begin your exhale. Hand is above you, palm goes down. So moving the shoulder, feel this, what's appropriate for you. You inhale, you roll your arm open, your heart goes up, you reach as long as you can, really stretching the arm, the shoulder, doing whatever's appropriate for you. This can be a tricky one for a lot of people, especially if you have shoulder issues, which a lot of people have. And then let's go the other direction. You exhale when you come forward. You inhale when your hand turns open. Exhale forward. Inhale. I'm going to do, this is your last one. Bring yourself back to center, noticing how your elbow feels. Take your hand on top of your shoulder, go around, and then in the other direction. So we're going to come to the other side. So just bring yourself up and over to the other side. You roll to the other side from the top of your blanket. Take your hands on your head, get your knees stacked, your legs are off your knees. Take your hands behind your head. Exhale. When you inhale, leading with the elbow, and then slide the shoulder blades closer to your spine. Squeeze your knees together and open yourself up wherever you can. Exhale back. Let that elbow go up and slide that shoulder blade towards your spine so that you're stretching your thoracic spine where your rib cage is, where the trunk is. Might not get very far, that's okay. Close your eyes, breathe, stretch. Make sure you squeeze your knees together, the top thigh doesn't slide. On your next one, come open and stay open. Take one more breath. And then bringing yourself forward. Bring your hand down alongside your body, palm is down. Exhale. As you inhale, turn your hand up towards the sky. Let your arm go to the back. When you get to overhead, that's when your exhale begins and the palm rotates down towards the ground. You inhale, palm is up. You exhale, palm is down. Try to explore your full range of motion. So unbending your elbows. And then bring yourself back to center. We're going to go the other direction. So you exhale when your hand comes forward. You inhale when your palm goes up. So we inhale when our chest is open. We exhale when the palm is down and the shoulder joint is closed. Shoulder joint is open when the palm is up towards the sky. Make sure it feels appropriate for you. You're stretching your shoulders, your chest, your arms. One more. And then bring yourself onto your side. Take a rest for a second. Take your hand on the ground and your elbow. You're going to push yourself to bring yourself up to center. Take your blanket. Coming onto all fours. So we're going to do a lot to open up and stretch the upper body. And you got to pay attention to this because the shoulders are involved. And for many, this seems to be an area of a lot of issues. So when you are exploring these movements, if you close your eyes, if you're in your body when you do them, you'll know what is a safe place for you.
If you do have rotator cuff tears, then having your arm away from your body is not going to be okay. You may need to have some bend and just not have this long lever and all this weight moving away from your body like that. So that's the same thing with any parts of the practice. The farther away from your body the limbs go, the longer, the less bend in the joints when you're stretching, the more you're going to stretch. When we're doing strength work, the more bend in the joints, the more strengthening you're going to be doing. Because then there's different ways actually to strengthen muscles. So those are some general things. But when it comes to stretching, unbent joints are going to be stretching and pulling on the bones a lot. So let's continue with this warming of the upper body. So you could either take your block and have your body elevated, and we're going to come a little deeper into the trunk now, doing some rotational movements. You could do this with a block. You could do this with your elbow bent. You could do this with your arms straight. Let your legs be wide here so you establish a nice base in your pelvis. You're warming up rotational muscles of the trunk and the core muscles and the back muscles. So make sure it feels appropriate for you. Inhale to open. Exhale back. One more. Bring yourself down. Take your hand down on the ground. Take your other hand near there. And then you're going to inhale to open, exhale back. So whatever you could do is great. One more. And then come to weight bear on your fists. So we're going to do fists for wrists. So make a fist and you're on that first knuckle. Have your hands be a little bit away from your body. Push your body back and bring your body forward. So getting a nice deep set joint in the shoulder. And then one more. Bring yourself up. Get your block. We're going to stretch our neck because that's important for the back bending we're going to be doing as well. So get a block. Either put it in between your heels and your tushy. Put it in between your ankles or come to a crisscross leg position if this is not a good position for you for your knees. And then bring yourself to a seated position. Bring your awareness to your neck. There's 6 ranges of motion of the neck. Side to side. Let your elbows be underneath your shoulders. Side to side, letting your ear go straight up towards the sky. So you're trying to lengthen the side of your neck, lengthening your ear up. Push your ear up towards the sky when you do this to get that stretch in your neck. And then bring yourself back to center. Bring your head side to side, rotation. Only the head is moving. Might hear a lot of crunchy stuff or feel crunchy. Close your eyes. If you do hear crunchy, can you move your head in a position that there's less crunchy sounds? So that would be pushing your head back, tucking your chin slightly down towards your body to get that length in the back of the spine and trying to stack the cervical spine in its natural position. And if you do that, you may notice there is less crunchy sounding as you start to find that alignment in the neck. Bring yourself back to center. Teeth are together. Inhale. Exhale, chin to chest. Stretch the back of your neck. Inhale, chin up towards the sky. And then bring yourself back to center. Open your eyes. So this area here, it's muscles. It's mostly muscles. There's a little bit of a spine there, 7 bones there. But then you have this weight of the head. And down here you have your clavicle bones and your scapula. And in between that is just those 7 bones. So this is all muscles that work all day long, holding our head on top of our body. And then wherever we're placing it, we're not always aware or conscious of where that placement is. There can be so much tension that comes in here. So much tension is held in this part of the body. And because we are all linked, that actually will be tension goes all the way down to the body. And the low back actually receives a lot of that, trying to manage the head. So doing a lot of this movement to lubricate, to bring hydration to the joints, to the tissues, to stretch, to explore what's safe, especially for those with issues who are used to being so tight and tentative and live in a really small range of motion. When you can start expanding that, bringing in these fluids and bringing in this mobility, it can really be part of the healing process if you do have issues with the upper back and neck. And then if you don't, this is preventative to not get to that place. So warming up the back muscles and strengthening the body. Let's come into a plank. This is a great total body strengthener for everyone and anyone. The modifications for this would be to bring your hands forward to leave the lower legs on the ground, and then to try to draw the lower back up towards the sky. So this would be a very active modification of plank. Or you can come into full version where you lift your knees off, pushing through the heels, pushing your hands into the floor. So do whatever's appropriate for you here. And then if you want to do a little challenge here, some of those structural postural muscles, this is good for balance, challenge, and core. You could take your leg either up away from the ground or even out to the side and do a little bit of movement where you have to stabilize your body as you move the lower leg up to the sky or off to the side. So whatever variation of plank that you'd like, bending your knees if you'd like, try whatever it is you would like, whatever is good for you. Strengthening your shoulders, strengthening your core, strengthening the front of your body. Bring yourself to a static position. Push yourself away from the floor with your feet. Push away with your hands. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself down and out. Come to a resting position, whatever that is for you. Close your eyes, catch your breath. If you feel your heart accelerated, breathe down to your pelvis. Ground your breath, activate your diaphragm. Take one more breath. So that's great for strengthening hip joints, strengthening shoulders, strengthening the whole front part of the body. Adding in the movement part, maybe that's good for you, maybe not. This is something that I do quite often to maintain the strength in my body. It's very easy to go on the ground wherever I am, to do a plank, and then adding in that extra stuff, it gives a lot more work for the core when you start to move your limbs off to the side or up. So if that's appropriate for you, could be something for you to add to your practice or throughout your days to bring in that strength and maintain that strength. And that in particularly has a lot of joint strength in the shoulders and in the hips, and then also in the spine. So let's warm up the back of the body with a reverse version of that. So this could be called tabletop. The variations for this would be the knees are bent and you lift your body up and away from the ground. See if this is appropriate for you. What you want to make sure is that you're not collapsing in your chest. So you have your shoulder blades sliding towards each other, helping to support the upper trunk. Another thing you could do, a little bit more intense with the low body and even the upper body also. So do whatever feels right. Try a couple of these. Try a couple with straight legs, couple with bent knees. And if you tried one variation, try the other. Go slow. Move through your joints. Feel this range of motion in your body and what is it doing? How does it make you feel? Whatever one you'd like to do, come up and hold it for 3 breaths. And then bring yourself down. Take a breath and a break, maybe even a few breaths, a breath break. So come into whatever position is appropriate for you. Close your eyes, sit nice and tall, bring your awareness to your breath. If your neck needs any release, you can let your head go side to side or add that rotation or flexion and extension. Teeth are together, chin to chest, chin up towards the sky. It's your practice. Do what's right for you. Take one more breath. Then open your eyes. So let's take the legs wide for a second. While we're sitting here, it's nice to do a stretch here. Well, I say nice. It feels good for my body. I know for some of you it's pretty intense. Take your flesh and move your flesh back. Stretching adductor, stretching the muscles that attach the legs to the body. This can be a nice release for the lower part of the body. So when we're back bending, making sure the upper body is limber and stretched. And then also that there's not any excessive pulling from the lower body. So in the seated position, you're actually in a weight-bearing position. So we're putting extra weight here on the muscles that are being stretched in the legs. Low back is getting involved. And then for those that could bend forward, if you do have osteoporosis, we always want to make sure we don't compress the front of the vertebra. So you want a long spine. If you do bend forward because you have a pretty flexible body, then your bend needs to take place at the hip joint. That's how you make sure you keep it safe. And coming forward is not a goal, only for those that when they're in this position are not really experiencing much of a stretch. If you're in this position and you're feeling a lot of stretch, that's enough for you. But if you need to bring your body forward to feel a little bit more, then you want to keep the front of your spine open. And then bring yourself up. Let's do a little lateral bend if that's available to you, going side to side. So it could be side to side on the mat here, where you go side to side, or you could bring your body down, bringing your hand onto the inside of your leg. Again, your body, your practice, your range of motion. When you bring your arm up, you're going to start stretching the back, the waist, low back muscles, preparing our body for back bending. Maybe trying both variations where the hands are out to the side, a little more lateral. And then when you bring your hands into your legs, you're adding a slight rotational movement. So what's appropriate? And then one more each side. And then bring yourself back to center. Take the block off to the side. Bring the soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet are together. Hold on to your ankles, long spine. Push your knees towards the ground. Push your feet towards each other, knees towards the ground. For those that need a little deeper stretch, bringing your body forward, keeping your spine long. You are not rounding and you're not letting your head go forward. You're letting your whole torso move forward, if that's available. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself out. Bringing your blanket back up to the top of the mat. So have your strap and your block handy. We're going to come onto the side, reaching the hand long and bringing yourself down onto the ground. Bring your blanket up higher so it only supports your head. And if you need a lot of support, that's fine. This is also an opportunity to correct posture if you have any rounding in the upper spine. So try to give yourself the least amount of support your body needs. So we could really work on stretching the front of the spine and taking out that curve if you've developed a curve. Take your arms out to the side. Take your feet wide as your mat. And then pick your body up. Pull your pelvis away from your rib cage. So add length into your waist area. Put your body back down on the ground. Soles of the feet are on the ground. And then gently let the knees go side to side, but keep the feet on the floor at first. Letting your knees go side to side. Close your eyes. Feel your body weight move from one side to the other. And start to feel a little stretch in the legs where they attach to the body. Then start to let the legs go a little farther. And now the soles of the feet may roll off. You are going to roll from pinky toe edge through the sole to the big toe edge. Bring yourself back to center. Take your feet wide all the way off the mat. And do this. Keep your arms on the ground. Keep your rib cage on the ground. Let it be the legs and a slight tilting of the pelvis. Feet are away from your body, so there's not as much tilt. You're not in the low back. Want to stretch the legs, lubricate the hips.
The next time your legs come to the left, keep them there. Let the legs stay to the left. You're on the big toe edge of the right foot, the pinky toe edge of the left. Let your head roll to the right. Lift the right arm off the ground, flex the right wrist, reach through the right heel, up and diagonally away from you. The right elbow is straight. And then bring your awareness to the right hip joint. Push the right hip straight up towards the sky and lengthen that right side body. Breathe to your right side. Feel as much stretch as you could create, moving your heel of your hand as far away from your right knee as possible. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself back up. Let your knees go to the other side. When they arrive, let your head go opposite the knees. Lift the left hand off, flex the left wrist, reach long through the left heel of the hand, push the left hip up towards the sky, left knee away from you. Push that left big toe edge into the floor to help unbend the left hip joint and stretch the left side of your body. Breathe to the left side of your body. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself back to center. Bring your knees back in. Draw one knee into the chest and then the other. And rock side to side. Grab your strap. Bring your strap onto your feet, both of them. So both feet are going to go on the strap. And then spread your legs wide. So hold on to your strap. Spread your legs wide as they'll go. And hold on to your strap to help. Feel that stretch in your legs. And then guide the legs back towards the wall behind you. Try to keep your knees straight if you can. You push your feet into the strap and you pull it back. Try to keep the knees straight, whatever range of motion you have. And then push your tailbone towards the ground. So let the low back come away from the ground. Keeping your pelvis in neutral, and then try to press into the strap, drawing your legs towards the wall behind you, but don't let the low back flatten. Take one more breath. And then slide the legs closer. Hold on to the strap. Let your feet be a little wider than your body. Wrap your hands around your strap. Push your pinky toe edges into the strap. Soles are up towards the sky. Guide the legs towards the wall behind you. Push the tailbone into the ground. Let the low back come away from the ground and guide the legs back. You won't get a lot of big distance in your legs here. You're going to feel the stretch earlier as you bring your legs into that, or the pelvis into that neutral position. Push the pinky toe edges in. Soles are up towards the sky, and try to guide the legs towards the wall behind you, noticing where you feel the stretch. And then release. Bring your right foot into the strap. Put left foot on the floor. Let's stretch the ankle joint, bending the foot side to side. So the only thing that's moving is your foot and your ankle. Keep your kneecaps pointing straight back. So if you pull on the strap that's in the left hand, it'll pull into the bottom part of your arch and it'll tilt your foot towards the left. You'll feel that stretch on the right ankle joint. Then if you pull the strap on the right hand where the pinky toe edge is, not as much bend here. And you may not just feel this on the inner leg, you may feel this in other parts of your leg. So get your ankle to stretch here. And then bring yourself to neutral. Try to keep your sacrum pressing into the ground. That's what you want. You want your low back away from the ground. So we're really stretching the leg here, and we're not tilting the pelvis back to try to think we have more flexibility. Let's really isolate this as flexibility in the leg. Now guide the foot towards the wall behind you. Pull down with the strap, create as much tension as you can, stretching that leg. Lift up your neck, lengthen your neck. Take one more breath. And then release. Let's bring the left foot up into the strap. Find that neutral pelvis. So you feel the sacrum, you feel the pelvic bones. Your low back is not pressing into the ground. Just explore that. If you bring your leg back, your pelvis tilts back, your low back presses into the ground, you get to go a little bit farther. But if you bring your pelvis to a neutral position, you'll feel the center of your pelvis pressing into the ground. Low back is away. So you'll feel all the pressure in the pelvis. Let's do a little side to side action here with your feet. Pulling on the strap in the arch. And then bring yourself to neutral. Keep your leg pressing into the ground. Let's go back with the leg. Feel that stretch. Press that tushy cheek into the ground. Low back is not touching the ground. You have not tilted your pelvis back. And you're drawing the leg back. You won't get as much of a range of motion, but you should still feel a very strong intensity of a stretch. Even more so than when you allow your pelvis to tilt. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and bend your knees. Take the strap off to the side. So we prepared the body, stretching and moving everything possible to work on this back bend, this bridge posture. Not coming straight down towards your head, but rather bending, finding a bend in your spine, a back bend, and especially working to try to get that to come into the thoracic, where the 12 vertebrae are of the thoracic spine. Not as much flexibility there, so it takes a little bit more work to get that. So let's work with this. Let's bring this lubrication into the back of the body. It's better to have no blanket behind the back of your head. You're going to push your arms into the ground, make yourself more narrow across the top of your body. Walk your feet away from your body. You're going to mostly bring warmth into the lower part of the body. Long neck. So tuck your chin towards your chest, neck is long. Exhale. As you inhale, push your feet into the floor, lift your right hand up, rotate your head to the left, and only lift your body off to about the lower ribs. Exhale down. Inhale the other direction. Warming up the glutes and low back, hamstrings. One more each side. And then bring yourself back to center. Let's walk the feet closer to the body. Lift your head up, tuck your chin towards your chest. Lift your upper back away from the ground. Slide your shoulder blades towards the spine. Palms are down on the ground. Exhale. Tilt your pelvis back so your low back presses into the floor. And as you inhale, lift your spine up as far as you can towards the upper back and slowly put it back down. Close your eyes. Feel your spine moving. See if you could feel your spine bending. Let your arms help when the upper body is moving away from the ground. And feel this fluidity in your body, whatever it is. And then bring yourself down. Get your block. We're going to try different things, different muscles turning on to stabilize the spine to get the bend in the back. There's 26 vertebrae in your spine from tailbone to right where the head attaches to the top of the spine. The bottom two are embedded in your pelvis, sacrum, and coccyx. Then you have 5 low back. You have 12 attached to your spine, 7 in your neck. The 7 in your neck are going to stay nice and long. And so the goal is not to put extra pressure into the eyes, keeping the head flat here. Tip of the nose is up towards the sky, chin is up towards the sky, eyeballs are up towards the sky, even when the eyes are closed. So your head should be in this neutral position, and we want all the bending to occur in the 5 low lumbar, the 12 thoracic. That's what we're trying to do. When we bring the weight up, it comes right to the upper body. So I want you to close your eyes, feel this. You may not get really high. You may not get a lot of bend. The things that can help is you squeeze the tushy cheeks. We're going to squeeze the block, and you're going to think about stretching open the front of your spine. The arms bent by the side of your body are helpful. So try this, bending the arms by the side. Palms are facing each other, fingertips up. Do not look side to side when you come up. So once you establish this, lift your head up, long neck, feel the center of your head on the ground, chin towards your chest. Walk your feet closer to your body, squeeze your block. Tilt your pelvis back, flatten your low back, exhale. Inhale slowly, peel your spine up, start bending it. Start opening the front of each vertebra. Use your hands when you need, or your arms, so you can start to bend the top of your vertebra by your heart, and then place it back down on the ground with the exhale. Squeezing the block, flattening the low back, pushing your arms and your feet into the ground, bending your spine, opening and stretching the front of your spine, and slowly placing your spine back down on the ground. One more. Come up and stay for 3 breaths. Try to open the front of your spine. And then bring yourself down. Take the block off. Get your strap. Moving on to the strap. Take the loop of the strap. Not too wide. Not too wide here. Take the loop of the strap. Bring your feet through the strap. Now you're going to get a little higher. You're going to feel a little bit more ability to stretch the front of your spine. When the weight comes off, the back neck stays long. Tip of the nose is up towards the sky, even with the eyes closed. And you're bending your spine as much as possible. Arms bent makes it a little easier to try to work on that back bend in the upper spine. If you're really flexible, you can put your arms down straight. Do what's appropriate for you. Walk your feet closer to your body. The strap you're not wider than your body. So tighten that strap so that you have about 4 inches between your legs, and that's it. Tilt your pelvis back, flatten your low back, exhale. And then inhale, peel yourself up and away. Pushing out on the strap, you're going to get more range of motion in your body. Close your eyes, go slow. You inhale to lift. Stretching the front, strengthening the back. Keep your neck long. All this is happening in your torso, not in your head and neck. Use your arms to help lift your upper body. On this next one, come up and hold for 3 breaths. Bringing yourself down. One more variation. Take your strap off. We're going to use the strap now on the arms, on the hands like this under our body, activating the shoulder girdle and getting the support in the upper body. You'll get a little higher here. Take your hand in the strap, have it down alongside your body. Roll your shoulder blades towards each other, lift your head, lift your pelvis off, lengthen your torso, tilt your pelvis into a posterior tilt, put your pelvis back down on the ground, walk your feet closer to your body. Exhale. And then tilt your pelvis down. As you inhale, lift your tushy up a little and put your hands in the strap. So the lowest you come when you come out of this is right here. And then we're going to lift from here. Exhale. Inhale to lift. Pushing into the strap. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale to lower. Long neck. Weight is in the torso, not in the head and neck. Push out on your strap. On the next one, you're going to come up and hold for 3 breaths. And then bringing yourself down, 1 vertebra at a time. Lift your heels off the ground, lengthen your spine, pull your pelvis away from your rib cage. Try to place the vertebra down into the ground 1 at a time. Find that length in the low back. Bring yourself all the way down and then reach back, get your blanket, bring your blanket underneath your head. Draw your knees into your chest. Bring your legs into a happy baby position. So hold on underneath the knees, draw the knees towards the chest. Holding on to the toes if you can. If the legs are spread apart, you can only hold on to your toes if your legs are spread. If the feet come towards each other, then hold on underneath your hamstrings. Low back is pressing into the ground, rolling side to side. Massage. Then let your legs go up into the air. Point your feet and flex. Point, flex. Point, flex. Let your hips settle. Move your legs away from your body a little if you can. So you go back to that neutral pelvis. And then circular pattern with your ankles. In one direction and then in the other. Let your arms go in the air. Let your arms settle. Bring your feet onto the floor. Close your eyes. Let your hands go into your belly. Let your awareness go into your body, noticing what you notice. The neck, front, back, sides, chest, upper back, shoulders, rib cage, belly, low back, pelvic area. Let's come into Shavasana. Letting your legs go long, arms are down by the sides, or staying with your knees bent, whatever feels better for you. Staying connected to your breath, letting your body, your mind, and your soul relax. Meya Kame Govinde Mokande Udare Apare Hariyam Kariyam Nina Meya Kame Govinde Mokande Udare Apare Hariyam Kariyam Nilame Kame Govinde Mukande 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 Udare Apare Hariyam Kariyam Nilame Kame Gently begin to deepen your breath. Start to wiggle fingers in your toes. Roll your ankles, your wrists. And then bend your knees. Draw one knee in at a time. Come onto your side. And from here, using your hand and your elbow to push away from the ground. Kneeling or sitting, closing your eyes. Let your awareness go into your body. Noticing if the practice was appropriate. Enough, too much. Feel good. Bring your hands together. Rub your hands together and then place your hands to your heart. Yoga is a practice. It's a practice of being connected, mind, body, and soul. A practice of self-care, self-love, showing up for yourself. And the better health you have, that'll help with mental happiness. It's hard to live in a body that's full of pain. It's easier to live in a body that's flowing. And you'll flow more if your body is in a flowing state. It's all connected. Let's close with sound, a gentle humming sound. Take a big exhale. Inhale.
We bow out of respect and gratitude for this moment, for this wisdom to take care of ourselves. And when people bow, especially when they bow to each other, they say the word namaste, which is an equal recognition and a way of saying, I see you, or I'm one with you, or I'm connected to you. All right, so pay attention to how you feel. Warmed up the body a lot in the upper body. Really the whole torso, created that space in the torso, and then brought in the bridge posture, which is so therapeutic for the spine, for the torso, for balance, posture, alignment, fall prevention, to be able to take bigger breaths, to keep your spine healthy and not fracturing, to keep your shoulders healthy when you have the back of your body strong to hold you up. So bridge posture, one of the most valuable postures in the practice of yoga. All right, so there we go. Okay, great, Marianne. I think you were saying that now, but I'm not sure if you were saying that before, but I hope you're still here. And I hope that that was a lot of awareness for you there on what's important when it comes to doing the bridge. Great, Stevie, good. Relaxed and mellow in the mind, and then in your body, flowing and strong, especially if you were doing the plank posture with the legs all over the place. The reverse plank, lots there, and then all that work in the bridge to strengthen all those muscles, to lengthen muscles, really keeping the shoulders open. So hopefully that was good for all of you, Marianne. Okay, good. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Enjoy the beautiful day if you're in an area that has beautiful weather right now. All right. Bye.